of you here. Fabulous. You know I'm tuning in from Ireland today. I know a lot of you already know that. Fortunately, the hotel was willing to give me this very cute terrace outside that they have. It's freezing cold. I am just layering up and layering up because it's so cold for me, especially for us Chennaiites who are not equipped for the winters, but loving the breeze and the chill in the air. So I have days when I'm feeling cold and I have days when I'm just loving the energy of the chillness in the air. So yeah, I can see a lot of questions have already started to come in. I logged in a little early. I wasn't sure about the internet, so I said I better try it out. So I didn't realize that I was good 10 minutes early. I was only checking the internet, but awesome. I will get 10 extra minutes with all of you, so that's fabulous. I just had one of my lovely tribe members come and meet me. If those of you who know Geeta Sujit, she lives in Ireland, and it's so lovely now that anywhere I go, I get to meet someone or the other who's a part of my tribe. So God bless every single one of you. I hope someday I can reach your city and meet all of you. Oh, life page by Shilpa saying, Ireland is my second home and I love this place. Oh, how lovely is that? Love you, Vijaya. Let's see who all are here. Let's go. Good morning. Good evening actually for all of you. It's about, what's the time here? It's 11:30 in the morning here, but I think it's almost close to 4 o'clock for all of you. Billionaire Babe, once you announced that you will take one person in your live room every week, 1 week you took them also, and then after that you stopped that. Only 1 week you took that. Actually, we also wanted to talk to you live. Billionaire Babe, that is so true. You're absolutely correct in noticing that. We tried it once, but we realized that just the logistics of managing that was unique. And of course, our tribe members, I already get to speak to them because they are part of some signed up program or course. So then we decided that if I'm going to only call them here, then it's no point unless I can find some new people. And that always happens that the ones who write in are the ones who keep writing in. So then instead of that, we started the whole challenge thing and sharing things. So I would love to talk to you live. And if you'd love to talk to me live, my suggestion is either join Awakening or join Coaching Mastery. Become a part of my tribe so that I can directly have conversations with you, sweetheart. All right, let's see what else is happening here. Tina Jumanji, love your dedication, a big fan. I love doing this, Tina. So, you know, for me, not being present on my Insta Live is almost like, I'll be like always checking with Puneet. Are we going to be traveling on Wednesday? Can I make sure, can I get a part of the hotel where I can speak freely, loudly, the way I like? So yeah, thank you. Thank you for noticing and thank you for the compliment. The Stoical, your life is inspiring. I wish to live that life. Oh, that's so sweet. God bless you, and I really hope and pray for you. You know what? I follow a lot of people whose life I would like to emulate. And if you want to emulate my life, then God bless you, because it's a life very worth emulating, my darling. Hi, Gauri, Neha, Nivi. GJ saying Chennai is hot. Yeah, by now I'm sure Chennai is super hot, no doubt. Oh wow, garmi mein sardi ka ehsaas. Correct. Yeah, I'm fully layered up. I'm wearing a sweater, a jacket, a scarf. Like I'm like fully layered up. Somebody saying I'm missing your earrings. Yeah, I just felt like there's already so much on me. Iske saath aur earrings bhi add kar do. I will just look like one decorated showpiece. My husband has been there for 5 years and it's an amazing place. My God, how friendly are people of Ireland. I have to say, such warm hospitality. Everybody wants to help you. Like when I went up to the hotel this morning and I said, look, I need to do my Insta Live from someplace and there's not enough light in the room. Can you give me? And they were like, sorry, ma'am, they're like fully booked for the whole week. And then they were so helpful. They're like, what about this area? What about that area? And they took me on a hotel tour. By the way, this hotel, it's called Shelbourne, and it's where the Constitution of Ireland was created. This hotel is 200 years old. 1824 is when it was made, and it's got its own little museum, and there are some very, very famous people who've come and stayed here. So it was just so interesting to just see the history. Today I'm taking both my children to the National Museum. Very excited about that. And tomorrow our retreat starts, the one that we've actually flown here for. Shilpa saying, please come to Mumbai. Oh, so sweet. I'd love to, sweetheart. Kushi, I'm seeing someone since a few months who is emotional but a very private person. How do I encourage him to express his feelings? Kushi, 2-3 things you can do. One is you express, so it makes him comfortable to express. So you take the lead in expression. The second thing is give him a little time. Sometimes when somebody is really private, they may take time to open up, but when they open up, they will open up very fully and authentically. So I think just giving him that space to start to feel like he can trust you may need a little bit of patience on your side. Thirdly, you can play a lot of games, you know. I feel like what games bring out in a relationship, nothing else does. So what Puneet and I tend to do is, especially when we're traveling, we'll take this box of questions with us. You know, you get these couple questions and then just suddenly I'll ask him something. Just recently we were playing this game and I came to know something that for 23 years I did not know. So I never asked him that question. He had never told me. So I discovered things in him even till today, thanks to all these different couple games that we tend to play. So see if that's helpful, because sometimes, you know, you can't directly ask questions, but if a box is asking them, then they have no choice but to answer. So all of this, you can have a little bit of fun. Most importantly, remain patient. As he trusts you more and as he can trust himself with you more, you'll definitely start to feel like he's opening up. Okay, so voice is not coming. Is that true? Let me go right to the bottom. Is voice coming? Can somebody tell me if you can hear me clearly? All right. Hi, Puja ma'am. I'm Anjabeen. My question is, what is your take on body shaming? I have a few versions to this question. So one is, of course, I'm against body shaming. There's no doubt about that. Having said that, we have to start to understand why this happens. So in our mind, we always have a right and a wrong. On earth, in everything, for us to be able to process information, we need to compartmentalize information as right and wrong. So one of the things we've landed up doing is maybe color black. Black people are a certain types. Gujaratis are a certain types. Punjabi are a certain types. To understand people better, Sindhis are a certain type. So what we tend to do is we put people in blocks, right? The same way we have thin and fat. The way we have caste, the way we have religion, the same way we have thin and fat. And somehow over the years, what's happened is that fat got identified with unhealthy. So when fat got identified with unhealthy, we've become very comfortable commenting on fat. Okay, it feels like, okay, you know what, anytime you meet someone, you ask them like what it is that, you know, you're doing about it or something. Sometimes you can do it out of concern, and sometimes even the concern can look like you're body shaming. So I think firstly, understanding all of this is very important. Now, this is what I tell anybody who feels body shamed, that it's time you got over it. You know why? Because our patriarchy or our society or our community is created in a manner where they are still to educate themselves to reach that place where we can become a little more sensitive towards this. Now, in the meantime that the world is becoming sensitive towards body shaming, what is our job? To protect ourselves. So what if you could give yourself a better story that could take away the power of the other person to be able to hurt you? I always quote this scene from Game of Thrones, okay? So there's this short guy in that. I can't remember his name. I'm sure some of you know. He's speaking to Jon Snow, who's like the main hero of the program. The main hero of the program is called a bastard. So his parents were not married or something like that. And every time he's called that, the surname Snow means that in the program. And every time he's called that, he gets very angry, hurt, and reacts. While this dwarf guy is forever like telling him that, you know what, till the time you're going to allow other people to weaponize your truth against you, you're going to continuously be just a reactive person. You know what, I'm short and I've accepted that, and when someone makes fun of it, I laugh along with them, because you know what, I'm not going to let them control my mood, my life, my journey, And I thought that was so empowering and so powerful. All of us here have something that we are sensitive about. It may be body shaming. It could be, for me, it was my education. The fact that I had not gone to college, I was very sensitive about it. So when I used to meet people who are highly educated or very smart and intelligent, I used to feel jealous of them and I used to not like them that much. And I didn't realize that I had already made that connection. So for me, it was always like, I don't know, I somehow don't like her. Why I don't like her, I did not know. Now I know, because I understood it later on, and then I started to go, instead of being inspired by them, instead of respecting them, look where I went off. And I'm covering too much in your one question, but I want you to take this away if you can today, that instead of waiting for the world to change, see if you can change your mindset into accepting that may be something that you are sensitive regarding, and you remove your sensitivity, you remove the power you have given other people in that topic. This is not just for body shaming, this could be for anything. You know, I remember when I started out right in the beginning, I used to feel very conscious of which angle, or you know, I have a pimple on my face, or my nose looks too big, or my voice is not so amazing. You know, somebody had told me you have a very squeaky voice, and that was I used to get very nervous about my voice. Honestly, when you want to serve from the heart, does all of that matter? When you want to show up in this world, and the greater your mission, the more people will end up ignoring your negatives. You can either focus on those negatives, or you can focus on that beautiful journey or mission that you're on. And I can tell you, did it even eventually matter Mahatma Gandhi looked what? Or Mother Teresa looked what? Or anybody looked what? When your mission becomes greater in your life, when your purpose, your passion, when your energy is greater than you, I can tell you people will stop noticing all of that. But till the time we are conscious of it, and all the time walking around with that consciousness that what if someone comments, what if someone says something, what if, then you know what, you're all the time going to be attracting exactly that, because it's going to turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. So for everyone here, I hope you can take away something from this piece, because it's such a important aspect, because there's nobody who's not sensitive about something. Today, take your power back. Today onwards, just go, you know what, when someone comments on that, I'm not going to give away my energy power to that person. I'm not going to let them ruin my day, my mood, my life. I'm not going to. And if you can create a new story, like I created a totally new story. For me, it was, my mission is greater than me. Mother Teresa didn't care about how she looked or how she showed up or whether English was fluent or how amazing her tonality or vocabulary was. So Puja, all of that you can keep fixing. But in the meantime, don't forget, service is what makes you you. So just keep serving no matter what, no matter the situation, no matter where you're traveling, no matter where. And you know what? That became my obsession. And I can tell you today, people don't even notice those things that I notice in myself. So I hope that was, I don't know, I went away somewhere with it. But as you can clearly see, I'm supremely passionate about taking my power back. Farheen 6360, I sometimes feel the urge to influence my siblings' decisions and say them right and wrong. I know it's their life, but I interfere thinking they will mess up. What should I do? So sweet, Farheen. Firstly, it only shows me what a beautiful heart you have and how much love you have for your siblings, that you want to protect them. That's the real truth, right? You want to protect them. I feel the same with my children sometimes, so I totally understand where you're coming from. Having said that, this is something I would love for you to start to follow. There's no harm in giving them your perspective, but there is a huge harm in you expecting them to follow your perspective. Okay, there's no harm in giving people your perspective. Just don't get attached to. I give so much advice the whole day. Would you agree? I give a lot of advice. Guess one of the things what I don't do, I don't get attached. If my son agrees, great. If he doesn't, let him learn through his way. Maybe his way is the right way for him. Maybe he will learn and come back and say, Mom, you were right. Either ways, it's not an ego thing, right? It's more about him getting his life right. So I always tell him, I can give you my experience and I can share with you my perspective. But at the end of the day, it's your life and you have to live it your way. So you decide what you want to do. This is what I think. I will always, by the way, give my opinion, so that if I can save them some hurt, some time, any money, something, whatever I can save them, if I can, I will try. But I will only go that far, after which I have a lot of respect for individuality. That means you follow your path, your way. See if you can get into that energy. Firstly, your ability to give advice will become much superior. Secondly, when you give it and the person doesn't feel attached to it, you don't make the person defensive. When you don't make the person defensive, the chances are they are far more open to receive that you're saying. It's only when we get attached and we start to fight over what's wrong and what's right. Most of the time, things are not wrong and right. Things are just right for me or wrong for me, or right for you, wrong for you, or just different paths leading to the same objective. It's not always wrong and right. So I hope you can pick up something from this, my darling. Maluisha. Hi Puja, I have a question please. I struggle to fight to live in a present moment. What is the one thing you suggest to live in the present moment? Why one thing? I can suggest so many things to you to live in the present moment. One of them, of course, is start meditating. Meditation is one of those things that teaches you or trains you to come back into the present. Second is focusing on your breath. If you can focus on your breath, anytime you start to feel like your mind is wandering. The other day I was learning this very quick technique of how to breathe to get present, which was 2 deep breaths from your nose, 2 deep breaths without exhaling. So like that, 2 deep breaths, and then exhaling completely from your mouth. So take like as long as you can to really just, open up your lungs. So 2 deep or quick breaths from your nose, deep and quick. Quick, I'm not sure. Deep breaths from your nose without exhaling, and then letting it out from your mouth. Just doing this 3 times, they say the anxiety, worry, getting present, all of this, it's very, very helpful. It's called something, I can't remember the terminology, but I recently read it and I found it very useful. So that's another way. A third, fourth way, one of the things I do a lot is make a lot of eye contact. So when I'm with people, I tend to look at them a lot. So when you tend to look at people, guess what? Your mind can't wander. When you get your gaze stuck at any one thing, you get present in that space. So see if you can start to look at people while you talk to them. A lot of us talk like this. You don't want to be talking like this, like, looking south, talking north, not like that. You want to be actually looking at that person. The more you can go into their eyes, into their soul. A lot of times, there was this book called, I think, The Charm or something like that, in which the author had covered this scenario of why Bill Clinton was such a charming man. So they said one of the things he does whenever he meets someone, or 2, 3 things that he does is, 1, he makes direct eye contact. 2, he'll touch the person. At some point he'll create a physical touch with that person, and the third thing he'll do is, whatever the person is narrating, he will ask a follow-up question. Most of us talk to be able to reply. Not many of us talk to ask follow-up questions. So I found that very interesting that, wow, these 3 things build charm in a personality. See if you can build that. And you know what? I think one of the things about charming people is that they are very present with you. So try all of this and see what works best for you, yeah? All right, so I was clear and I kept talking any which way. So teacher, coach. As we proceed on the journey of success, we meet people who want to be our friends. Some genuine, some fake. How should we go about with genuine people and offer being friends, especially the opposite sex? I'm trying to understand your question, my dear teacher coach, which is, how do we go about being friends with genuine people, especially opposite sex? I don't think you need to do too much. You just need to be genuine yourself and you'll start to attract genuine people. Once you realize someone is genuine, now nurture that friendship. Which means if you ever want to become friends with someone, just make them feel important in your life for a little period of time. Long enough that they start to nurture you back. So in the beginning, what may happen is you may have to give once, twice, thrice and 4 times. I always say touch a person or be helpful with a person or nurture a person 4 times. And if they respond, then they will turn into your lifetime of friendship. And if they don't respond, they were never the right people in the first place to or they're not ready for you. So if ever I meet someone who I genuinely, authentically really like, I start to become very helpful helpful is my strategy. So if I see that they need something, want something, I'll go out of my way because I'm nurturing that friendship. They don't know right now that I want to be friends with them, but I want to make it very clear and obvious. And as I make it clear and obvious, they will automatically respond beautifully. And if you're saying opposite sex, then I'm also understanding that you're looking for platonic friendships. I always say this, that to me, now the world is gender free. When I'm meeting people, I'm not meeting people as man and woman. I'm meeting people as souls. It's by chance that you are in a man's body or by chance that you're in a woman's body. But for me, you are the soul that I'm meeting. So I do not keep gender anymore between us unless the other person brings it up and makes it a gender conversation. Now, when that happens, that the other person makes it a gender conversation, that's the time for me to cut that friendship, because they have brought into the relationship what I am not ready for. So sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. It all depends, right? So if you are becoming friends with the opposite sex, my suggestion is see if you can see beyond the physicality. See if you can look through their souls. Like right now, I have some amazing men as my friends. Amazing. And you know, earlier on, I would have been so conscious to be so close to other men apart from my own dear husband. But today I am so super comfortable because they're not meant for me at all. We have a soul connect. We are connected at a level which is so much more than the physicality of this earth. So I'm going to ask you to start to grow. Imagine how beautiful life will become if all of us start to go beyond the gender and start to make friends literally for who they are rather than the body that they belong to. I think it'll be so much fun. Not everyone's ready for that yet, but for those who are, I think it's a much superior way of making friends. Shizan Bhatt, how to become more productive during the day. Shizan, the more planned you are, the more productive you will become. So just look at how good are you at planning. Can you wake up an hour earlier and plan your day? Can you make sure you know what are the things you need to achieve for the day? Thirdly, can you make sure that they are scheduled in your day? So have a to-do list and then know when in the day are you planning to attempt that. And then do it. Try to keep most of your things in the first half of the day. The first half of the day, most of us have better energy than the second half of the day. Now, some of us are nocturnal. So if you are someone whose energy is highest at night, then keep your most important stuff for night. The very important thing to understand is your own energy cycle in 24 hours. So like I am most productive at 4:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning. These are my 4 hours of bliss work. And then I move into other people's agendas and my own agendas of the day till 5 o'clock. And then I have rest time. This is the time I want to go totally unproductive and just do things that I normally wouldn't. For example, watch aimlessly, endlessly some Pakistani play or do something which is not productive because my mind needs to rest from a full day or full day at work. So see if you can use any of these. Of course, you can Google Pomodoro technique, which is the 45 minutes to 15 minutes way of focusing and creating projects of 45 minutes. That's something that people tend to practice a lot. You can also look at improving your concentration by playing different games. Sudoku is very helpful. Today there are many these mind games to awaken your brain set. Brian Tracy, when he's writing books, he loves to put instrumental music. There's a whole study now that if you have instrumental music playing in the background, our brain doesn't get half as tired. When I say half as tired, that man who used to say that he could write for 2 hours without music and for 8 hours with. So look at his productivity used to go up by 4x. So you want to start to explore all of the various ways of how you can improve your productivity. Reading Atomic Habits is a very nice book. Eat That Frog is one of my favorites. There are many like this. Highly recommend you read a few books on this. It will open you up in ways that you haven't noticed yet. Ashwita Ashu, in arranged marriage as a girl, what things need to be looked into a guy? What questions can we ask him? Ashwita, for me, the most important thing is to marry your values. Okay, so I love looking at, when I'm looking at two people, whether they will connect or get along or not get along, for me, I like to look at their value system. Do they value similar things? Let's say I value money, somebody else values family. we'll be always in conflict because I'll be chasing money and they'll be prioritizing family. It's best to marry people who have similar values. Having said that, even if you don't have similar values, if you have respect for one another, the marriage will just last so much longer. So marry someone who's not condescending, who's not derogatory. How do you know? They say sometimes, I've heard things like this, I don't know, I've never used it in my own life, but they say, look at how a person speaks to the people who are under him. When I say under him, I mean like the waiter, the driver, the security guard in a place. Look at how they speak to people who have nothing to give them. And in that you can tell, does he have a condescending, derogatory personality? Because those who don't speak properly to the people who are weaker than them or lesser than them will land up at some point treating you the same way. So look for these qualities. What kind of questions can you ask him? The ones that interest you. So look for the kind of questions that you would like to know about. I remember my dear husband asked me, are you religious? It was something that interested him, for him to know that how religious is this girl. For me, I had so many questions for him. I wanted to know so much about him. I wanted to know about his past. I wanted to know about his education. I wanted to know how he thinks. I wanted to know what his vision for the next 5 years is. So I was a very curious, person. But at the end of the day, all of this is important. But to me, the most important thing is, what is your gut intuition telling you? Our gut intuition is always speaking to us. So when you meet someone and you energetically feel the vibe is correct, trust yourself in that. It's not so many questions. Today, I don't even feel like I need to ask people questions to know whether I will like them, get along with them, need to nurture them or not. Because over the years, what's happened is I've understood the vibe, the frequency. So as you raise your own frequency, the other person who you land up attracting will also have a higher frequency. We do not attract too far away from the frequency that we vibrate at. So start to work on making yourself so amazing that you land up attracting an amazing guy. I know I've gone a little off track. The question that you asked was, what questions can I ask him? But honestly, no matter how much you ask that he wants to hide, he'll hide any which way. So for me, I don't think question asking is the way to discover someone. I think it's even better when you trust your own gut. And yes, you can create a list of your questions that are important to you, but they have to come from you, not from me, because it should matter to you. Those are the things. Like for me, it was very clear that I wanted someone who's very work oriented. His work ethic had to be really good. Now I knew that was a very important quality for me. So when I was looking for a partner, or when my parents were looking for a partner, the one thing I made clear is I don't want to marry this rich man's son who's never done anything in his life. I want to marry who's really serious about work and has a very clear desire to become something in life. And when I met Puneet, that was the most attractive thing for me in him. So look at what's important to you. That's what really matters. Vijeta Hola, Saubana, can you please explain about angel numbers and what we should do when we see them? So angel numbers are just signs that you can read, that the universe shares with you that you're on track. Now, some people have a lot of information on what every number means. What does 1111 mean, 2222 mean, 33 mean? Each one has its own angel. So numbers have like some Archangel or Gabriel or all of that. It's a whole topic by itself that I'd like you to go Google and study, and maybe see if you can go under someone who can explain more to you. For me, I just use it as just like kind of like a sign that I'm on track. For me, that's all it means. Whenever I see a number, I just look up and say, thank you, God. That's like my way of being in gratitude, because God's confirming to me that everything that you're doing, Puja, you're on track. So whenever that number shows up, it's like whatever I'm doing at that time, it feels like somebody just blessed me. That's how I treat it. I don't like to treat anything too important from the realm that we don't really understand fully. So 20% of my life is created by that. I love Vastu, I love crystals, I love tarot reading, I love astrology, I love gems, I love, the whole, everything. I just love all of this other realm conversation, healings and everything. Having said that, I'm also very confident about my own power. So nobody can put any fear in me by doing the opposite. So when we start to do angel numbers, I'm okay with you doing angel numbers till the time you don't start to go, oh, I didn't see an angel number today. What if God's not blessing me? What if I'm not on track? So the opposite does not hold true. So be very careful about that. Anytime you're working with the other realm, which is a science beyond you, a science that cannot be proven, it is only given to you through the masters that understand that language. Yeah. So whenever that is your truth, then don't, just be a little careful. Okay, I'm just going to take a break for 1 second and I'll be back. All right, thank you for waiting. Puja Sawant. Hi Puja ma'am, I recently got married and my mother-in-law likes to do more things that she likes, but I don't have much courage to say no and I always please her. How to manage it? Puja, you know what? The first year of marriage, I always say, is the year where your pleasing others will not harm you in any way. It's perfectly okay to do so. You're trying to fit in into a new house. And so if you land up doing a little extra for them, I would say grow the size of your own heart. Okay? And it's okay. Try to see where it is that you want to draw the line. So you don't want to land up doing something that you're totally against or that is not of your value at all. For example, let's say my mom-in-law and I love playing cards, but my other two sister-in-laws don't like it, right? So at no point should they have to play cards because my mom-in-law and I play cards, right? So those things draw a line, but if they can be helpful in some other way, they should be helpful in that way. So that's pretty much what I would like to say to you, that right now learning to have the courage to say no is not something that you may totally need. Sometimes you feel like, I want to be able to say no. My suggestion is go with the flow for some time. In about 3 to 6 to 7 months, what will happen is they will start to believe that you are a very giving kind of person. At that point, you can start to create a new relationship of being able to say no, because now they'll know it's not all of our judgments and assumption comes from the first few interactions or the first few months of interaction, where we are still deciding what kind of person this is. So my recommendation to most incoming daughter-in-laws is always that make your first impression solid, fabulous, beautiful, a little more giving than what you need to. See if you can grow your heart. See if you can overdo a little bit. And eventually, slowly, over time, at some point, you can start to go, okay, this is not working for me or this is working, because they'll at least know that you explored. You explored and then you realize this is okay and this is not okay. At least you tried. At least you experimented, because it's a new house, right? There's so much new that's happening. So instead of just saying no, you tried, and then whatever doesn't work for you, you start to make a list. That this I don't want to continue, this I'm enjoying doing. Let's say making breakfast is something you love doing, but dinners you don't want to because half of the time you and your husband are going out with your friends. So then you have to start to look at, okay, so this is something I'm going to have to work with. This is something I'll have to work with. And then you can start to come up with, you can discuss with your own dear husband that, look, this is something I'm enjoying doing, this is something I'm not. Can you help me? What's the best way to say this to your parents, or the best way to communicate this so that they don't get too hurt or they don't feel too bad? And yet, having known that, you have to accept that yes, you may land up disappointing them whenever you do say no, and that's okay, but do it in the gentlest manner, because after all, they are his parents, right? So I think it's all about how you think. Sometimes what happens is we get so bitter and resentful in the process that we lose it and we start to overreact on things that don't even matter, and we start to fight with our own spouse rather than explain or make him understand that this is what's actually and really troubling me. And sometimes it's possible that your spouse may tell you, okay, here you stretch yourself a little bit, but I'll stretch myself a little bit for you in something else. So let's say Puneet's parents want me to do something for them and I'll end up doing something for them. Then later on he would compensate by, saying, okay, Wednesdays I'll take you for dinner, don't worry. Saturdays you cook the dinner. I'm just giving a random example, by the way, this is all not true, but just giving you a random example for you to start to see that, you can get, the most important thing is to have your man on your side. Don't make the fight about you versus them. It has to be us versus the everybody else. So if you want to have that conversation, it's the conversation that you have with your spouse. So don't ever make his parents wrong or his family wrong. Just say, you know what, for me, this is hurting me, or this is not how I like to do it, or this is not how, you know, I'd like to continue. I'll do it but I don't want to continue. So it's all about how you communicate. And if in your communication, you can love him more than you can hate them, you will see that it is so much more magical, the conversation. So try your level best to love your person more than what hatred. Otherwise, what we'll end up doing is we build so much hatred in the day that by the time our man comes back, we are like spitting venom on all of the atyachar that is done on us. Now, unless the situation is extreme, had you written something like, you know what, I don't want to ever do that, and that is an extreme situation, then please stand up for yourself and get your warrior princess archetype out. Very important that what we learn to say, there are some things you have to learn to say no to because they are non-negotiables, right? So if they're a non-negotiable, then you must put your foot down, and you'll be doing yourself a favor and the family a favor, because if you continue to do that, you'll become a different person and they won't enjoy. I remember my friend saying this to her husband. She was going for some trek and her husband fell and broke his leg. And so her husband was telling her that now don't go because I've broken my leg. She said, I'll stay back, but the person who will stay back you won't like. And I really loved that sentence. She's like, I'm going for a day. He can totally let me. He knows I will feel joy. I know if I stay back, I'll have so much resentment against him. So that sentence really appealed to me, that who stays back you won't like. And so then he let her go, and when she came back, she was so guilty that she overdid pampering him also, and it worked out beautifully. But just letting you know that, you know, these are all the various ways you can look at this situation and see what you can get best out of it. Because you're recently married, I hope someday I can start a daughter-in-law orientation program where the mother-in-law or the family understands how to get a girl in and how a girl should come in and what kind of attitude she needs to carry. Someday I want to launch that program. Let's see when it happens. Can you please adjust the camera a little up if possible, because your face is getting hidden behind the comments. Oh, too late, but okay. I hope now it's better. Ritu Bhardwaj. Hi Pooja, how to be energetic all day? I feel like I'm doing so many things every day and I feel so tired all the time. Sweetheart, I don't think we can be energetic the whole day, but it's important to understand our energies. So look at, like for me, 10 to 12 in the morning is very high energy, while right after lunch, low energy. Then again, 4 to 6, high energy. Then again, 6 onwards, low energy. So I know my day, and when my energy is at its best, I like to do all of the deliverables that I have to, where I have to interact with outsiders, right? So see if you can start to see the energy map of your day and start to understand what it is that you eat, what is it that you do that helps you gain energy. For me, because I'm so connected with my mission, I feel like my energy comes from up above. Whenever in life you'll be doing something that you are in complete alignment with, you won't need food. You'll forget to eat, you'll forget to drink, you'll forget to, you know, and that's a good thing, because can I tell you, we don't need the amount of food we eat. We don't even need 3 meals a day, 1 meal a day if you're not a growing up person. So if you've crossed that, you've reached adulthood, you don't need 3 meals a day. This is only our culture that has convinced us to do that. If you go back into our ancestors, most of them were having 1 meal a day and being supremely fit. So it's not through food and through exercise that we truly get our energy. It is through how we are thinking about our mission. When we are connected with something greater or bigger than us, you will see an energy surge of the kind that is unbelievable. You know, all these Gurujis used to go and sit in the Himalayas and not eat for like months. How did they survive? Because they were so supremely connected with that energy source beyond us. So I would love for you to start to tap into that, and that happens when you're doing something that you're truly passionate about. So look for things that make you passionate, and then notice. Sometimes I'll be doing art and I'll just forget where time and space went. 2-3 hours I would have just gone drawing. So like that, you want to lose yourself to the things that you do, and that to me is your complete channeling the energy of the world. Like so many times it happens to me even in Insta Live, where I'll be like, oh, it's already 5 o'clock. When did it become 5 o'clock? I'll be so busy talking. So like that, you want to channel yourself into a space where you get so involved, so into it that, you know, energy comes from a higher source. And of course, look at your own schedule and be totally okay with your management of fatigue and exhaustion. All of us get fatigued and exhausted. A lot of people ask me, Puja, what do you eat or what do you do? You're always so bubbly, chirpy. No, if you see me when I switch off the Insta live, you will, it's a very different Puja. She'll just like plonk herself and relax for at least 30 minutes after, because I would have given so much that I will need to recharge myself. And learning to recharge yourself is a huge part of how you manage your energy on a daily basis. JP Kartika, how to say no to our affectionate one if we don't like something? So Kartika, anytime saying no to an affectionate one is a hard thing to do, and it will for some time create an awkward moment or silence between you and them. If you can get comfortable with that, then it's totally okay, right? So let's say I don't want someone to do something. So when I communicate that, for some time in that silence or in that moment, it can be awkward, but they'll pick it up, and then for the rest of your life you don't need to communicate that, right? Because it's already communicated. Now it's done. Our fear is so high that somebody will misunderstand us or they will not take it correctly that we don't know how to do it. But if you can do it in the most gentlest, sweetest manner, keep your tone really sweet, like, you know, please don't do this, I don't like it, and keep it personal rather than attack mode. So attack mode is always when we speak to the person and go, please don't, you don't do that, I don't like it when you do that. So there should be no you in your sentence when you are telling someone not to do something. It should always be me. I get pain when you pinch me like that, or I don't like it when you touch me like that, or, you know, for me, I feel very uncomfortable. Keep it about you. For me, whenever somebody like has a very disrespectful joke on me, I don't like it. So I make it very clear that, you know what, I didn't find that funny at all. And for a moment, you'll see there'll be complete silence, because I'll be like, I won't laugh it off. For me, it's important that they know that they cannot make such jokes. It's not funny. I will communicate that, and it'll be really awkward for some time, but you know what? They won't make those jokes again, because now they've understood that Puja is not going to let it pass. She's going to pick it up anytime I do that. And people get very uncomfortable being made uncomfortable. So for some time, just get comfortable in making someone else uncomfortable. It's a very short period of time, and then they'll get it. And if they don't and they make fun later or whatever, then it's important that you continue that conversation till you have it the way you like it. Because this is about you, and this is you making sure that you feel safe to be able to love them. What's the point where our love is turning into irritation? Because if they continue to do that, then we can't love them. And you want to love them so much more. So it's very important that we communicate this. Peter Dinklage, Tyrant. Now only I'm reading Tyrant Lannister. Right. Let me go right to the bottom and see what fresh questions have come in. Minal Raja. Hi Puja Di. I wish to marry someone where after marriage only I and my husband will live in the house. I don't want my family or his family to come into our life. Is it okay to put up such a condition? I think it's okay to put up such a condition, and make sure that you marry someone who's okay with this. So very important is that your values match. There are a lot of boys these days who don't want to live with their parents. If you marry one of those, then it's perfectly okay to put up this condition. Please do not marry someone who values family really a lot, because you will land up really upsetting them. So make sure that you marry the right person. It's totally okay to want that, but you must communicate that to the person that you're marrying, and make sure they are on the same page as you. If they are on the same page as you, there's nothing wrong with what you're asking. And if they are not, then it will be blasphemous, right? So you want to make sure that you are with someone. I know people where the children decide that, you know what, neither your parents nor my parents are going to be living with us. We will live in a separate house. Yes, they can visit us every Sunday. Yes, we will go over every weekend to have lunch or dinner with them. We will make rules. We will keep communicating. It's not because we love them less, but we respect our privacy, or we respect our space a lot more. Totally okay. So don't feel guilty about it. Just marry the guy who also feels the same way. That's all. Shama Habib, my husband is always busy. I feel very bad that he does not have time for us. I feel he has lost interest in me and I feel very unattractive. Saima Habib, you know what? I think that we as women especially need to make our life work so much more for ourselves. What do I mean when I say this? Anytime I have chased my husband to get his attention, I have only landed up losing him more. Because remember, when the energy of chase is them running away, we have to become attractors, not chasers. So what's the difference between a chaser and an attractor? An attractor starts to work on herself rather than changing the person. So see how you can make yourself busy, how you can make yourself attractive, how you can make yourself use your time in a manner. Till the time I was a housewife, my husband used to be like, if he was on the phone too much or if he was too busy, I used to always have comments, you know. I was such a nagging wife because I used to be like, you're forever prioritizing your work, you don't even love me. These used to be my favorite sentences. You have no love for me. Now see, you didn't even notice I've cut my hair. You're not even interested in me. And I started to find so much evidence that he was not interested. Then I started working and I got really busy. And I remember there were days when I wasn't available on my own anniversary or on Karva Chauth, or I used to be in some part of the world, and suddenly all of that I had said to him that, you know, oh, you don't even have time for our own anniversary now. And now I didn't have the same time, and I realized the entire dynamics of our relationship changed. So I would love for you to start to look at exploring that. How can you make yourself so worthy that he gives you that attention back rather than asking or begging for it? Till the time I was begging my husband for attention, trust me, even the quality of attention he gave me was pathetic. At one point I remember, I don't know if I knew he loved me, but I didn't feel respected. And for me, that was a big no-no. Like in my relationship, to get no respect from my man is what really used to suck my energy. I never used to like that. And then as I became who I became, I started to notice a very different energy in his eyes. I started to notice that, you know, I remember the other day, just about a month ago, my son was down from London, and we were sitting in the drawing room and Puneet was leaving. And I said, "Ja rahe ho?" And he said, "Haan, office jana hai bhai maine." And I said, "Acha, ek coffee pee jao." And he was holding his bag. He had already opened the door and he was already wearing his shoes. He removed his shoes, kept his bag, came, sat with me, had coffee, and then left. And my son just noticed that, and he commented that, you know what, Mom, it's so cool that Dad was at the door already leaving, maybe even running late, don't know. And you just said that, and I said that's the kind of respect we have for each other now, that if anybody asks the other for whatever we ask the other, it's a yes unless it has to be a no. So Puneet and I, we make it a point now that if anybody asks, like today he's asked me to go buy something for some friend of his, and I have a really busy day at work because from tomorrow my retreat starts, and I was like, okay, I'm going to definitely try to go buy it, but I'm not promising. But I know in my heart that if I'm not able to go buy whatever he's asked me for, I'll feel really bad. So we both want to say yes to each other much more because of the respect we have for each other and each other's time now. Can I tell you, this is earned, this is not gotten easily. So I'm going to ask you, Saima, today to start to work on your own personality to earn this. Unless he's like, you know, wrong as a human being, I don't know that. Not all of my advices are correct because, you know, the man has to be a nice man, and then I'm saying work on your relationship. If he's a nice man and he's just busy because he's work oriented, then you're in a lucky place. I remember one of my sister-in-law's father said this to me, "Beta, you should be so happy that your man is focused on his work, because when they're not focused on work, they can be focused on other things." And I was like, whoa, okay. Because I keep complaining that he's a workaholic, he has no time for me. He's saying, "Beta, you should be grateful. You're blessed." And I said, okay, that's another way to look at it. So I'm just giving you all of the angles, and then you see, sweetheart, how you can make this work for you. But my one suggestion, don't chase, attract. Attract energy has a very different energy. And if you don't know how to attract, join my awakening program, join my enlightenment program. It's all about taking your frequency to a level where people start to get drawn to you rather than you going after them. Yeah? Oh, it's 444. The angels are watching. Ah, lovely. Life coach Sunali, mention what you want. Puja ma'am will answer. Oh, you're telling Sushma something, yeah? Okay. Sushma, if you're around, you can ask your question. I'll answer, sweetheart. Nivi Moodley, joining my in-laws this month with an 8-month-old baby, but we are not on talking terms and they hate me. How to manage? Nivi, see if you can change your energy. You have a new baby now. Don't carry that negative energy. Let them be negative for now. You carry positivity if you can. And if you can change your energy, they will change their energy. Don't wait for them to change their energy first. Only then you will change your energy. So see if you can go in with a different perspective, with a different story. I remember one of the stories I give, especially for in-laws, is that in the previous birth, no, you must have done something wrong there. So this birth, you have to pay the price. So such kind of story, if you can tell yourself and say, okay, now I'm clearing my debt with them. This month, I'll do so much for them that I will finish my debt, and after which I don't have to do. Something like this, if you can create some story where you're enlarging your heart, you're growing your personality, helps you to be with these people. Okay, so see how you can work on that. Anshu Chopdekar, ma'am, how to manage everything? Me time, kids, studies, our job, our family, happiness, when your dear ones expect everything from you and you don't want to upset them. Anshu, few things. One, don't look for balance in life, look for harmony. What do I mean when I say this? In an orchestra, not all instruments play at the same time. One plays, the other plays later. So each one gets its own time, but they don't play together, right? So I want you to start to look at life like that. Everything should be given time, but don't look for every day I have to have me time, every day I have to do kids time, every day I have to do, no. Whichever days, whatever is your priority. Some days this is priority, some days that is priority, and learning to prioritize creates a melody. The melody of life is what I call harmony. At the end of every month, you can just re-look at that month and go, what happened and what got ignored? And whatever got ignored that's important to you, see if you can bring it back in the coming month. So that way you can actually manage a lot better. Just one of the things that you've written is, and I don't want to upset them. Anshu, do your best. And do not get connected to them, you upsetting them, okay? You're not upsetting them, they are getting upset on their own. They have decided to be upset, so they are upset. They are not upset because of you. So just understand that. If your being you is upsetting someone, then that's their problem, not yours. So get comfortable with, sometimes changing the expectation of someone by upsetting them a few times. And once the expectation will change, the relationship will get better. So let's say my mother-in-law expects me to come for every marriage with her, and I have sessions and so I can't leave. So maybe the first time she does get upset, and the second time she goes, oh, Puja has to become very busy, and the third time she may land up saying something like, she's not available anytime and all of that, and I can see she's getting upset, right? But I also try my level best to compensate when I'm not busy. So I'll say, Mom, I'm busy 10 to 11, but I can come up at 11 and help you with your kitty. I can do this. And I'll also keep compensating, but I will not give her the time that I know is my priority. But I don't mind playing around because I want her to feel my love, but it just may not be the way she's expecting it. And after 3-4 times, you know what happens? She stops having that expectation. And she creates a new expectation कि ठीक है तू 12 बजे तक बिजी है ना, तू 12 बजे के बाद आ जाइयो, या फिर मेरे को 2 सैलेड्स बनवा के भेज दे, या फिर मेरी फ्रेंड्स देखो 3 बजे मिल लेंगी, कुछ नहीं होता. Like that, she'll change her expectations and suddenly the relationship will improve and become so much better. But if I give in too much and I keep saying yes to people so that they don't get upset, the chances are when they are not upset, I will be upset. And my being upset, I will lose that relationship any which ways, because no longer will I value them or love them the way I know I'm capable of. So if the choice is between upsetting them and yourself, my suggestion is upset them and nurture them later. Okay, let's go right to the bottom. Sigaramto Dovam. I just can't pronounce your name. Sorry about that. But I'm Vidya. Okay, that's so much easier. Hi, Vidya. Backbiting problem, what to do? Now, I don't know, is people backbiting about you or are you backbiting about them? And that's a problem with you. So I'll take both the questions. If people are backbiting about you, just know that these are cowards. What do I mean when I say cowards? People who don't have the courage to express things on your face are best ignored. They don't have the courage. They are not courageous people. You want to talk behind my back, you know what? The more successful, the more famous, the more unignorable you become, the more people are going to talk about you. You think people don't talk about my Insta lives later on? Maybe somebody says, who does she think she is? Maybe somebody says, oh, she dresses up so much. So maybe she's showing off that she's in Ireland. Maybe people have so much to say. You think I should give that any importance? Everybody will have some judgment or the other. Most people have a good judgment, but for every good judgment or 10 good judgments, there'll always be one bad judgment. Now that you know that, you can decide, do you want to focus on that one bad or do you want to focus on the 10 good? If you want to focus on the 10 good, then you have to accept the one bad as a part of the process. And can I tell you, the more successful you'll become in life, the more criticism is going to come your way. The tax of success is criticism. The tax of success is criticism. Like the way the tax for becoming rich is income tax, the same way the tax of success is criticism. Once you accept that, okay, when people criticize me, it basically just means that I am becoming unignorable. I love this word, unignorable, because I say, you know what, when you're unignorable, people will have an opinion on you, good, bad, ugly. If people don't have an opinion on you, you need to worry. But if you have a good opinion, great. Bad and ugly are part of the process. So God bless you, my sweetheart. If you are having a backbiting problem where you can't stop backbiting about other people, then just be a little careful and keep quiet a lot more. Don't participate and don't surround yourself with people who only generate their energy through putting other people down. Some of us need to put other people down to feel good about ourselves because our self-esteem is zero. I always say, I can look at someone, spend 15 minutes with them, and how they speak of others tells me what their level of self-esteem is. If someone has a deep need to criticize someone to feel good about themselves, very low self-esteem. They really need to do self-development work. If someone, does not want to criticize anybody and is very careful. This morning, one of my tribe members had come and she was narrating to me someone had done something wrong to someone. And as she was narrating, she said, I know I shouldn't be criticizing, so I'll be very careful about my choice of words. And I thought, wow, what an evolved soul. I mean, she was so sweet. She was like, Puja, because of you, I've changed so much and I've evolved so much. I don't speak such sentences anymore. And I was like, really appreciative of the fact, the way she put it across, the way she said it. Because you know what, how beautiful would this world be if each one of us thought twice before speaking against someone? You know, how beautiful would this world be? So I think all of us will become so much more beautiful as people, and the world will become so much more beautiful if we just became super aware about the fact that we can be neutral, we can speak nice, but let's not add any more negativity in this world by criticizing someone who's not even in front of you to be able to give you the justification or the explanation of why they did what they did. Swarna Prabha, you are the best teacher, Puja, to guide every student like ourselves. Oh, thank you, Swarna Prabha. Old Soul Devi, once you said, Puja, light to off karti nahi ho, life coach kaise banogi? How did you handle such criticism at that time when you were no one? How did you overcome it that moment, that day? Old Soul Devi, for me, I think on the journey of success, you have to know that you will have a lot of people who are not going to believe in your vision right in the beginning. I think we have this myth in our head that as we go on this journey, we should have people supporting us. People support people once they see in them something spectacular. But guess what? For most of us, our spectacularness is hidden within us. Only we are aware of our own spectacularness or our own awesomeness. And it takes time for it to be visible to others. I want you to imagine yourself like a seed. When you plant the seed and you start to water it for almost a month sometimes, you have no idea whether it will germinate and come out. The first sign when you see of the little tiny twig growing with that little one leaf growing, suddenly now you can see that there is some hope and scope there, right? So till you reach the place of hope and scope, there is a blind faith that you had in that nurturing, right? So I feel like the same way, you have to give people time to be able to see that tiny spark in you. In the beginning, they can't see the spark. They cannot see any, they don't have any evidence from outside to know what is so special about you. So it's perfectly okay for them to speak to you almost like as if you are crazy, because they don't see it, right? My husband didn't see what I was doing. He couldn't understand, like, where is she going to help anybody? First she needs to help her own life, her own self. That's how spouses look at us. I remember one of my teachers had said, please do not measure your self-esteem through your spouse's eyes. The job of a spouse is to remind you on a daily basis everything that's missing in you. So stop measuring yourself through that for some time. There will come a time where his advice will become very meaningful, because who knows you better than him, that day you can use his advice. But for now, you are that germinating plant. No point every day digging the plant and saying, uga, nahi uga, growing, not growing, growing, not growing. You're going to ruin the seed, right? So in the beginning, the seed needs all of what it needs nurturing. Over time, even if you go to a tree and you criticize the tree can handle the criticism. So coming back to your question, my sweetheart, become accepting of everybody who's criticizing you, saying that my sweetest revenge is not going to be in words, it's going to be in my success. And then patiently wait to become so successful that someday they come and applaud you, or you remove them from your life the day you're successful, because they don't deserve a seat on your table because they didn't believe in you. Either one will happen. With some people, I'm very forgiving because they didn't see it. And I understand that they didn't see it, but they always meant good for me. Some people I know didn't even mean good. And to those people, once I became successful, I said, you know what? You revealed yourself to me in times when I needed you, and I don't think you deserve a seat on my table. So you'll have to decide as you go on this journey. The only thing I don't want you to do is take it to heart and stop doing what you're doing because you're not feeling supported. I think we as women need to create a support system of other women. Especially if you become a part of my tribe, you'll see women really support women in a big manner, okay? Because in our environments right now, the way our family structure is created, more people are there to warn you and criticize you than they are to support you. That's just how our systems are. I'm hoping in the next 5 years all of this changes, which I think it will. But till then, we're just going to have to live with the fact that the last people to believe in us will be the ones closest to us. I'm going to repeat that sentence again. The last people to believe in us are going to be the ones closest to us. All right, it's 4:57. I know there's a list of you all who managed to put me in your story last week, and I want to read out that names. Also, if this week you haven't taken a picture of me yet, in a moment I'm going to post for you. Let's see if I can manage something better here. Yeah, I think this is better. Okay, I'm going to post for you. Quickly take a picture and share what were your biggest learnings of today. So much posing I'm doing. I feel like a model. Yeah, got it? Fabulous. Now what I need you to do is take a picture of this, post it on your story, share with me what was your biggest takeaway, 1, 2 or 3, and make sure I share it in my story so that you can become a winner. Remember, we are collating all of the winners of the whole year, and someday, who knows, you may receive a fabulous prize thanks to being a part of a winner in some of the week or the other. So last week's Insta Live participants were Swati Singh Shukla. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing me on your stories. Devika_wins. Vandana Change the Energy. Anne's Fitness Goals by Anupama. Gargi Arya 2007. Syed Ziana. Madhu_Flair. Shweta.Life Coach. Gauri 1811. Tina Jumani Anchtani, Bilal Sunil Doshi, and Ujwala Madhuri. Many congratulations to each one of you here who managed to share a post on me on your Instagram and made sure that I share it in my story too. The winners of last week who have won my book Unlocking the Golden Cage are Anne Spitz Goals by Anupama, Swati Singh Shukla and Vandana Change the Energy. Super congratulations. If you are by chance in the room today, please let me know so that I can congratulate you in person. And if you would like to participate in this, all you need to do is take a picture, share your takeaways or your breakthrough moment of today, your aha moment of today, and put it on your story. Tag me so that I can share it in my story. If you manage that, you will become a part of our list of winners that we are accumulating and collecting, so that at the end of the year, you can get something so amazing that you will feel wonderful and happy that you took part in this. Okay, what do you need to do? All you need to do is take a picture of mine. Here I'm posing for you. So take a picture, make sure you share it. Yes, everybody? Fabulous. Let's see if there are any winners in the room. I'm just reading all the comments. There's so many comments, my God. I wish these comments could stay, and at some point in my leisure time I could just read through all the comments, because I'm always so interested to know. I'm always so interested in knowing your side of the version of whatever you're thinking or your take on what I'm saying. So nice. Kaveri Sumi, clearly we were connected from our past births. I love that. Where are you sitting, Puja? In a beautiful, let me show you, in this beautiful area. It's like a small little balcony, kind of a restaurant, kind of a coffee place. And actually, if you can see, that's the outdoors. And there's these lovely heaters that the hotel switched on for me, 3 of them, which has made this room super warm, even though it's very outdoorsy. It's become super warm, loving that. And it's raining right now outside. So if you want to see the rain, that's our hotel. So it's raining outside. Yeah, I hope you got a nice glimpse of it. Oh, congratulations. I can see Vandana's here. Lovely, lovely. You're my role model. That's so sweet. I already got your book. So those of you who already got my book, great. Just let Divya know when she writes to you. Then what we'll make sure is you win something else with us. Yeah? I can always buy it, but I decided to win it. I love that. Yes, I would like each one of you to aspire to win my book. Of course, you can go on Amazon and buy it, but I'd love for you to win it. Yeah? Which place is this? Ireland, in Dublin. The hotel's name is Shelbourne. Pink suits you. Oh, thank you. I got myself some new glasses also. Let me show you my new glasses. Can't wait to show off my new glasses. Do you like my new glasses? Tell me in the chat box below. Awesome. Fabulous. All right. So I'm going to run now. Thank you everybody who came. So nice to see you all. I'd love to know what was your biggest takeaway from today. Also see if you can watch this video and comment underneath this. If you want to join us at Coaching Mastery or Awakening program, all you need to do is write into the Gunjan. Gunjan will share her phone number under this Insta Live. So make sure that you get in touch with her. Yeah? Bye everybody. Take care. Thank you so much for coming. Ciao.